All right, welcome back. This is the second story. There was a question given the last time about injuries, and this is my second injury. But before I go to that, I'm doing a little commercial here. Commercial, I don't make any money on this, okay? On RealCopStoriesVideos.com, we have 355 stories. Look them up, patrol gangs. You'll like them. They're fun. They're funny. They're my babies. And if you want to, ask me a question, which we're doing right now, email me at rsbcopstories@gmail.com. Okay, now there's one about me getting in. I'm going off a little side things here because it's not everything isn't really. They told us back when he got out of the academy, actually going in the field, the only thing you'll find black and white out there in the real world of police work is the police car. Everything else is gray. Everything else is all different colors. And so, you got that book I told you about where everything you need to do in there, how you do your tie, where you hang your locker. It's all in there, okay? But not everything, okay? So anyway. So this is the era, this is like in the 70s, okay? PCP first came out, okay? And it's a horse tranquilizer. And, people get high. They initially started being on mint leaves. They would soak mint leaves. They put a few drops in a baggie, throw in a bunch of mint leaves, and they kind of mix it up. And it wasn't marijuana. It looked like, people say it looked like marijuana. No. It looked like really bright green mint leaves. Okay, it didn't look like marijuana. Okay, and they're soaked. You get a little about this wide on the bottom of a Ziploc with the leaves. And that's enough to get high 30 times or what. I mean, it's unbelievable because remember now they're soaking wet. So the only time they evaporate, chemicals or whatever, when we open the bag, they evaporate the vapors. And what they're doing is they're just sniffing the vapors, and they get high and they seal the bag, and they're good. That's good for another time. They get higher. Okay, so we had a real big outbreak of PCP in the mid 70s. Almost came out like all of a sudden, like one day somebody flicked a switch and all of a sudden it's here. It's really weird because our division is a very quiet division, and we get calls. We're a micro of bigger police divisions that have stuff going on a lot. If they have 100 incidents, we'll have like 10. Because we're a smaller quiet division. And like Hollywood has one of the biggest ones. South Los Angeles is a bigger division. A lot of more officers in the division, up to 300 officers. We have 170. 10 times the phone, 10 times the radio calls, 10 times the criminals. So we have kind of a small micro of what's going on with all these other areas. And so this came out really quick. All of a sudden you get a call, what they call a 415 man. A 415 is a penal code section for disturbing the peace. So keep the radio for transmit. They'd go, you get a call, 415 man at the corner of 1st and Main. Or 390 man, which is a drunk exposing man. He's exposing himself. You get a 647F, man drunk. You get a lewd conduct, trying to keep everything short. A lot of these agencies have all these code systems, 10, 10, 14, 10, 42. We don't do that. We just plain English, few codes in there. So we get a call, 415 man, just during the beat, 415 man, breaking windows at a mall or a strip mall. Okay, so we roll up there, and again, this is all new. So I'm working with a partner that's used to be a Golden Gloves in the Army, really sharp guy. We roll up there, we're the first car there, really close. Here's a guy, naked, okay, walking down the street. He's got a chair. Where he got the chair from, metal chair, I have no idea. And he's swinging it around. I thought, okay, so we take out our nightsticks. In those days we had nightsticks and chokeouts. Okay, and chokeouts mean you use this part of your arm against someone's throat and you pull until they pass out. It stops the airflow on their trachea. Okay, we had another one where you go all the way around and put this V on his neck and you pull, and your bicep and your forearm crunches the carotid, and it takes a little longer, but the blood flow's done, and they pass out. They use these moves on the WWE and all this stuff, okay? Well, subsequent to that, in the end of the 70s, the ACLU and the LA Times, all these liberal organizations said we're killing people, even though people had died from it, but they were on drugs. They seemed to forget about that part. And so they outlawed it. They gave us a stick, and then you had Rodney King, where we could have choked out Rodney King in 29 seconds. That incident would never have occurred. 9 seconds, he would have been out. Choke him out, he's done, it's over. Cuffed is done. But they want us to, no, that's inhumane. So take out a metal nightstick and beat these people until they stop. Really? That's how you got Rodney King. That's how you got all these people with broken elbows and knees, because police work's ugly and people don't want to go to jail and they'll fight you and resist you. So now, luckily, at least they have tasers now. We've just seen on television. Sometimes tasers don't work, okay? Pepper spray's nice. You should pepper spray. It goes like this. You get your partner with it, okay? So they have beanbag shotguns, which is pretty nice, but sometimes you have to get it out. There's a lot of, you talk about these shootings, but sometimes you don't have time for all this. It's all this equipment you can get to, but sometimes you don't have time. Guys coming at you with a knife, you're going to go taser, you're going to go gun. So you're going to let the guy stab you before you shoot the guy so you don't piss off the the city attorneys and the ACLU. They're not out here doing it. Why don't you come out here on a weekend, walk around with a Skid Row, see how ballsy you get out here, drinking a little sip of wine and smoking pot, have your little lower your pot parties, bad mouthing the police department. Try that once in a while. Come on out, give it a shot. Okay. Sorry, I'm going off on a side here, but it just pisses me off. People that don't tell you how to do it. Anyway, so he's breaking on windows. He's naked, sweaty, some blood around his arms. Okay, so okay, this guy's just drunk because you don't know what to expect. So we walk up, and I was the pastor. I called for a backup. Give me a backup here, okay? So I don't know what we got. And he's yelling, yelling Spanish, superlatives and all kinds of bad words and everything. So we're trying, because we normally run up to people and do this. And nowadays, you kind of back off. And in those days, it wasn't HIV positive, it wasn't out there, AIDS. So this was just, you just run up there, and other than sweat and urine and blood, you had to engage. So we run up and try to grab him, and he's swinging away. So we start hitting our baton to hit him. We can't get in to choke him. So then he turns to my partner. So here's my chance. Okay. So I reach around and I got bony arms, which is better than fat ones. I was always able to get it up into the neck really well. So I'm grabbing him and starting to choke him. You use this to lock in your hands so they can't come out. And as I'm doing this, okay, he's screaming. My partner's trying to hit him in the gut, get the air out of his stomach. And what does he do? The suspect reaches up like this and starts to pull my arm out, okay? And I'm locked in here. I'm going, partner! And so I'm trying to, what happens is he jumps back, and I bounce off a building holding on to him, a brick, part of a building, and I bounce off of him, and now we're rolling around, and then I'm trying to keep up, and then he does it again. This time, we're off our feet. We're on the ground, fall on my back on top of me. He falls on top of me backwards. Now, I've always been trained. I always did this. I told you in my videos, when I'm fighting someone, I usually fall forward. I use him as a cushion. Well, he fell backwards and used me as a cushion, okay? And so I'm screaming, here comes two more cops. Now we're trying to get this guy secured, and I'm trying to get up, and I'm against a cement bus bench. And every time I try to get him in position, he's rearing back and shiving his feet. He's a guy about 5'10", maybe 240, kind of muscular, so he's pretty good shape. So now each officer has an appendage. Two guys on legs, two guys on arms, and we still can't control him. Can you believe that? Okay? 6, 7 cops. So finally, we get him rolled over, and somebody's got cuffed on one arm, somebody cuffed on another arm. We finally get him handcuffed. Okay? And his feet are flaying around. We have what we called I couldn't even a minute. I'm trying to think of the term. Anyway, it's a lanyard. It's a hubble. It's called a hubble. It's a lanyard that you use to tie the feet up. Okay? Because he's kicking and stuff. So a couple of guys. He's face down, jump on his upper part here of his back of his thighs. They're on him, and then they grab the legs and they're cinching the legs down because he's kicking his legs. And meanwhile, he's covered in blood. He's screaming the whole time, and we're all looking like don't know what this is. The sergeants pull up. What's wrong? I don't know, man. Look at him. And he's the reason why he's all bloody is because his knuckles are all blood because the witness come up and say he's breaking the windows with his hands. Well, people on pot, people on coke, people on heroin, drunks. Don't normally do that, okay? I mean, I can see them if he was mad, they'd breaking windows out with pieces of equipment, like chairs or nightsticks or whatever they have. Not nightsticks, but, pieces of wood or a tire iron. He was doing it with his fists, okay? So I get up and my partner get up. We were the first ones to tackle this guy, and now the adrenaline's going to leave my body. Now I'm like, oh man. And then I try to take a breath. I can't. I knew what it was. As soon as I went to take a breath after it was all over, and I had to take baby breaths. I knew what it was. Okay, I knew my ribs are bruised. I know because I'm like, oh shit, what's the matter? I said, there's something wrong here. And so supervisor looks at me, what's the matter? I said, I think I might have bruised my ribs. He goes, what's the matter? And I go, I can't talk very loud. He goes, oh man. And he looks at my partner, are you okay? He goes, I'm not sure either. Oh boy. He goes, And again, one of the other stories, as a supervisor, man, you got to take care of your people. You're a precious commodity, your officers. Okay, so he tells us, can you drive? My partner, yeah, okay, you guys go over there and take him over there. He had to go to med evaluation to see what he is. Took him to a doctor. Doctor examined him, and this is when we found out. We thought it was something that we had heard of, PCP, but now it confirmed that he was, because the doctor examined him and then all this stuff, and so this. I'm not saying we're the first ones, but there was a series of like about a week, 2 or 3 of these incidents was hitting us. The word was getting out. The other divisions were very active in this type of new phenomena, and we were starting to get a little bit of it. And rumors are out there's some kind of new drug, and then we start to experience it in our division. It's kind of like a slower area. So we go to the hospital and get to be examined. And this is a really nice little hospital. It's, like I said before in the stories, most of the nurses are either dating cops or married to cops, and so a very, very officer-friendly place. So we go in there, and what happened? We're telling them, I can barely talk. I mean, I'll show you. This is the volume. He's doc. I don't know. So this is what's wrong with me. I mean, it's very. And for me, you can tell by if you watch my videos, I'm a very gregarious, loud guy. Couldn't take a breath. Okay. So they're like, oh, doctor, okay, are you? What? I told them what happened. So I showed my partner. All right, took our clothes off, obviously, so we get X-rayed. He X-rayed us, and then he's touching us, and two doctors there, touching and feeling, and he goes, well, good news is he didn't break anything. I go, okay. Bad news is you might as well have, because bruised ribs, my nurse lady here behind the camera saying that bruised ribs and broken ribs, level of pain, obviously broken or more, but the discomfort and being unable to breathe like you're experiencing, all that stuff is the same, okay? I didn't know that. I thought, well, bruise, I get a bruise. Big deal. No, this is really, the whole cage is all messed up. You got a couple bruises back here. We saw that, visible bruise on the outside. What happened there is, well, I hit a corner of a building. The guy rammed my back into a building. He goes, so okay, fine. So wrote out chits for, part of me off for like 3 weeks. I'm off for like 4 weeks. And then they wrapped us up, but it was good, I guess, because they weren't broken. He said, yeah, he said, when you start taking bigger breaths after 3 or 4 days, it'll be better, but it's going to take a couple, 3 weeks before you might see something. So just don't rush it. You need some more, just call us, say you need some more time off. Well, we're both young 3 or 2.5 cops. We don't want to take time off, but you have no choice. This is, when I broke my hand, you had no choice. I was cast, I'm at the desk. Here, I was home. My wife's working, she's, out there every day, and I'm sitting there like a robot, with my TV controller watching, the reruns of All My Children, But anyway, so that was more of a dramatic injury versus the one I broke my hand. This is more doing real police work. And of course, we discovered over the next coming months, and it pretty soon just took off, that this new drug was out there. I mean, other calls are going out, guys doing stuff to each other. They even had rumors going around, you better be careful because they're double cuffed. In other words, put 2 sets of cuffs, because apparently in some other division, the guy broke the handcuffs and he was handcuffed. Woo! Some kind of a workout guy, a macho guy, muscle man. I guess he broke the cuffs and fought the officers again. Now he's got metal things where he's swinging it, and it was a mess. So everybody's taking extra cuffs because you got to cuff people, because you know what it is. It's not your normal crazy guy, okay? And now with tasers, I mean, now they even to this day, today, 40-some years later, you see tasers, they're not working. You hear about shootings where officers shot somebody, and of course they're suing the officers, but it comes out after all the rumors are gone and the real facts come in. They tried the taser several times, didn't work. The guy jumps up with a knife and they blew him away. Well, is it the officer's fault? No, it's a criminal's fault. They got to take their own responsibility for their actions, but they want money, they see money. But so it's still here today where you can't control a lot of people, whatever they're on. Anyway, so that's my second injury, and I'll come back a little bit and do a couple more, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.